Alrighty, with this one right here, coming into this whole thing right here, you got the one shot freestyle remix, Baby Gang. You got the whole thing coming into it though with the freestyle one shot, one shot remix, Baby Gang coming into it. You got the whole thing, just his whole thing, especially with this one right here and everything else. I didn't actually see this one coming into it with the whole, just the whole kickback of the freestyle, the one shot remix, especially with Baby Gang, because Baby Gang, he brings all type of stuff, especially with his whole thing right here coming through it, and the whole thing coming span this of this, but coming from this stand, especially from the freestyle one shot remix, Baby Gang, the whole thing, coming in too. But you got with the Baby Gang.
Okay. One shot, one Glock, amico solo cojo no joke. Ho parlato poco con i Comac perché din Omac sono con Omac. Jackpot, hell bro, ti trovo io niente.
Ooh, he said jackpot, loophole, hey, with the loophole and everything else, and the whole mixture of everything. Like, hey, I'm already knowing, this whole, composer and thing like that. Like this whole thing already just, and it's already coming with a stacky type of point. Like you got a point of a view, point of a, point of visual.
Sono con Omac, jackpot, hell bro, ti trovo io niente coltello. Mi faccio decenni per quello non sporco le mani ma sporco mio ferro. Po e sei morto, tu non fa reto, che non sei pronto, ale, oh. Sai che io faccio din don, a casa di lì, rindon, piscian.
Ooh, what did he say? He said with the ding dong, fing fong fing, and the whole mixture, the whole thing is like so unique here too. Especially from it coming from another source. Like, hey, even him, doing this whole, it comes like, even him, pitching in through it. He made it even more of a pitch, a pitch voice, like him just going off of the streets of the of the voice, and him just having this whole, the main thing, especially how everything else, the loof is.
Sai che io faccio din don, a casa di lì, rindon, piscio in testa poi TikTok. Non guardavo i Simpson, ma i pusher in vision, basta che guardi il viso. Tutti questi rapper sono fake, non sei Justin né Drake, né G Balvin né Lil Wayne, chap, giri, fuck trap, H, muovo chili sopra fra un cut, i sedili pieni fra di click, clack, cazzo ridi? Rip rap, tu che ridi, fumo solo shit black, coi miei gighi tempo al tempo tic tac, se cammini sta rosso con big pack, se tu vivi. One shot, one Glock, amico solo cojo no joke. Ho parlato poco con i Comac perché din Omac sono con Omac. Jackpot, hell bro, ti trovo io niente coltello.
Ooh, what did he say? He said jackpot, and then head blow, and the head blow, like, hey, that's crazy, especially how this whole thing is, re-scooshing, like everything that he's just going off of, like it's just, he got a melody to it, he got a physical, especially with the physical lyrics and everything, like the physical lyrics and him having this whole, destroy a vent, he's destroying the whole vent, especially from it coming from a whole, his whole turnal, like it's just coming from both turnals and both, quinzings.
Mi faccio decenni per quello non sporco le mani ma sporco mio ferro. One shot, one Glock, jackpot, ho beccato il tuo rapper nel block. Faccia, no joke, no gang Glock. Faccia di merda nel mo. Fu, petas. Tu sei solo una peta, aspetta, sputa madre Las Vegas, italiano beretta, reta. One shot, one Glock, amico solo cojo no joke. Ho parlato poco con i Comac perché din Omac sono con Omac.
And the whole thing too, one shot, one Glock, one shot, one Glock, So it's a one thing, it's a one little eternal thing, especially where the whole thing was collabed off at too, especially the whole areas, like the areas and stuff like that. It'd be so, demonic, because, it's demonic everywhere. Like, if you go anywhere, it's just, anywhere you go, it's demonic. Like, you see this everywhere. Like, you see a group of, and demonic people, ready to whatever they ready on, especially how, where the whole place was, adding everything else too, it just gets real sketchiness and evilness, especially, the places that they be so demonic, like so demonic, especially the evilest spots, where you can just do things at, and, have this whole demolish and everything else, especially how this whole thing, it circulates.
Jackpot, Hell bro, ti trovo io niente coltello. Mi faccio decenni per quello, non sporco le mani ma sporco mio ferro. Prima cosa carico, la seconda scarico, terza quarta cosa non andare mai in panico. Audi S4 vado dritto dal meccanico, siamo armati tutti e quattro, non fare il simpatico, movimento rapido. 2001 sono nato, già prima ho volato. 2002 ho parlato, anche quello è volato. 2003 ho camminato, poi mi sono rialzato. 2007. Tic tac, il successo sta arrivando, ogni volta che ripenso sento click clack. Prima ero chiuso in cella, ora dimmi che è successo, ho la puta che passa.
Ooh, so he got a whole thing coming into it, especially right there. I'm gonna stop it right there, because, it just, you got the whole thing coming through it. But with this whole thing, especially, I'm guessing that's what's coming soon, especially is it's already out or something like that, but that he got different things going on, like different mugs, different all type of things. But you got the one shot freestyle, and just with the whole, the baby gang, especially this whole thing, like his EP, especially if he has an EP, coming on the way, most definitely, tune in with those, because, especially how these go. But mainly with it just be the music videos that really, be John's, cause like they just come different, they consume different, and everything else. But, you got with the whole freestyle, with the one shot remix, especially how the whole thing went, especially remixing it through, the original song, by 50 Cent and everything else. This one's delusional, but, he just came through it with the whole thing, especially with Baby Gang and everything else. But, especially how this whole thing went and everything else. But make sure you guys definitely like, comment, subscribe, everything else. And, just with this whole thing, just the vision and, baseline and everything else. But with this one,